Well, the Sensex has hit an all-time high. Let's celebrate that. This is fresh record high for Sensex. We are now, in fact, headed towards 39,000. In fact, last time we fell short of that mark by just about 10 points. 38,989.70 was that high, and now we have crossed that. 38,993.45 is what we have on the Sensex. So that's a fresh record high. Let's pull out a 6-month chart of the Sensex. We keep talking about Nifty because that's a trading instrument, but Sensex, of course, is the grand old index that we have. That's the 6-month chart of the index. From at the lows, it went to about 33,000, and from that point, it's just been a one-way rally and stunning. In between, of course, there were some dips, but big move. Large part of that Sensex rally is on account of banks, of course. The bank Nifty.
Reliance.
Of course, Reliance.
54% rise in the past 1 year and 22% year to date. Yeah. So, I mean, a big contribution coming from...
Big contribution coming from Reliance. A big contribution has come from TCS as well. Let's not forget that. It's just that over the last 1 month, it's sort of consolidated a bit. But before that, that's also contributed. Yeah. The first half of the rally...
Bajaj twins.
Exactly. The first half of the rally was very narrow. Must point that out. But the last bit really has been broad-based. And the market clearly giving indications of further broadening. Having said all of that, the Nifty also just about 56 points shy of all-time high. Just to remind our viewers, perhaps the time to buy was 2 months back, 3 months back. You can still buy if you're an investor.
Mid-February.
Exactly.
February
but
15.
now if you're chasing this move, you'll have to wait that bit longer because the market always gives you those opportunities. And when you go towards all-time high, there's temptation to book some profit. That also cannot be good.
We want to check whether Maruti is the time to buy now because that is the one that has not participated. Over to you.
Okay, yes, I know. I mean, I don't mean to be a damn squib, but at a time when the markets are sitting at all-time highs, there is a slowdown that's definitely underway in the economy. More bad news coming in from the auto sector. Reports indicate that companies like Maruti are cutting production because of the weak demand. R.C. Bhargav, the chairman of Maruti, joins us on the phone line to talk about that. Mr. Bhargav, good morning. You were the first one to, in fact, tell us last year that things are not as rosy as they seem. What is the situation on the ground now, sir, and how long do you think it could take before normalcy returns to the sector?
As I had mentioned, the evidence of the past 2 general elections show that in the year before the general election, sales slowed down considerably. That's both 8-9 and 13-14. And again, the moment the elections are over, these sales go up. And first year, I think we went up almost 20%. Last time, 14-15, we went up by about 12%. Oh. Now, whether that is going to get repeated this year or not is a big question. And all of us are keeping our fingers crossed that will the past 2 general election pattern of car sales repeat or not repeat. Okay. This year, of course, we have the additional, input for the customers, which is that a lot of regulations have been coming in the last few months and will continue for the next few months relating to safety and emission.
Yep.
And it's not just that they happen once, 1st April to a 2020 BS6, but safety regulations have been coming in from last year. October, something came in. Today, we are getting ABS compulsory on all vehicles.
Oh, okay.
1st July, we will get airbags compulsory on all vehicles.
Okay.
While the new models had to have these safety regulations applying earlier, October last year or September 17, I think. For existing models, all these will become applicable by 1st October 19.
Yeah.
So what impact all these are going to have is still to be seen.
Okay. That point is taken, sir. Mr. Bhargav, good morning and thank you very much for taking our call. You're a practiced eye. You have seen this as a public official and then at the helm at Maruti, all the ups and downs of auto demand and slowdown. Is there anything that you would worry about for the medium term? Is it the ability to buy a ride rather than a car, a medium term dampener? Or is this the very fact that there hasn't been too much of private investment? I mean, growth is an issue. Is that putting a medium term slowdown? How much, what are your expectations? What would your bets be that come June or July, car sales will pick up?
My personal view, which may not be shared by everybody, is that we will see a pickup in sales coming along, because all these years in the past, I've never seen 2 or 3 years of successive decline in sales. It's never happened.
Okay.
And when you have a decline in 1 year, usually the next year becomes a better year, because all the suppressed demand of the past goes up.
Oh.
You know, India is not a country where car penetration is very high. And these shared platform cars and things, these will only add to sales. I don't think in any way they will take away from the growth of the market.
Okay. Sir, this is Sonia here. So if you're saying that you see a pickup in sales, year to date, Maruti sales have grown just about 5.5%. Are we looking at a single-digit growth year? Even if there is a pickup, are we looking at a single-digit growth year in FY20 as well?
I would hate to predict this at this point of time, because I don't know. And as I said last time, in 2009-10, the growth was almost 20% in the whole market, not Maruti.
Yeah.
In 14-15, it was about 12%. So what will it be this year? Because of all these new regulations and other things, I don't really know. But it could be single digit, it could be double digit. It's I think as manufacturers, we have to be very flexible in our plans to be able to adjust to what customer behavior comes up in the next few months.
Fair point, sir. But this news that you have cut production by 26%, that's correct?
No. Okay. We had adjusted production in March so that we didn't end up with large inventories.
Okay.
But otherwise, we couldn't have grown 5.5% if we were cutting production.
No. Only for the month, I meant, sir. Only for the month.
On the month, we review. I'm not sure what the exact number was. Maybe around 20%. But it was fundamentally to ensure the inventory management.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Is it true that Maruti is taking one step, to sort of increase dealer margins on some of its key brands in order to help dealers through these times?
I'm not aware of that at all, because I don't get into dealer margins and things. But I don't think our dealers have any real problems, because they've still sold 5-6% more cars than last year overall. And some of the better dealers have sold much more than that.
Okay.
Others have not performed so well.
Okay. Mr. Bhargava, the other thing I wanted to ask you is, you all have done the best in this slowdown. I mean, your fall is perhaps, in very low single digits, whereas there are others who have taken much deeper cuts, and that has extended to two-wheelers as well. So, therefore, if you can give us a view of the industry itself, that's why the growth worry is even more pronounced.
So industry, I think, again, depends on what I said earlier about how this year, being a post-election year,
could be different.
Out. And a lot, I think, will depend on the election results themselves.
Okay. All right, Mr. Bhargava, we leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us some check on what's happening on the ground. So, yes, things are bad, but the chairman of Maruti believes that sales could pick up. Actually,
his bets are that it will pick up. I mean, usually post-election years, he said one post-election year was 20%. Last time, 14-15, he said, was 12%. So usually post-election years are good years. And if a man with his experience says that you almost never have continuous slowdown years. There is a slowdown, it's usually followed by a recovery, and recovery with a vengeance. So we take that with both hands.
But it's also, so many imponderables, right? There are these safety regulations that will kick in. All of them will kick in from the 1st of October 2019. We don't know what the impact on prices and demand will be.
And actually, Sonia has an excellent bar graph that she kept ready. If you look back, June, July, August of last year were record months with 1.7 lakh vehicles for Maruti. So there will also be that big base to contend with.
Yes, there will. And some of the key brands are facing pressure, no two ways about that. But so is the industry. Anyway, we'll take a quick break on that note. On the other side, the Embassy REIT, that's the big headline of today. Decent listing for that one. So up next, we'll touch base with the lead banker, Bank of America Merrill Lynch's Head of Investments, Raj Balakrishnan, will join in to talk about this and other trends. Do stay tuned in.